Welcome to Inquiry into Self. I'm continuing with an unprincipled life and now looking at some of the assumptions that we make about relationships. We tend to have an idea that long relationships are better, or we tend to think relationships where there's a lot of harmonious exchange are better. Or we tend to think relationships with somebody who seems very psychologically healthy and wise are better. But all of even that falls away as we let go of concepts. And it turns out the person I'm engaging with right now is the most important person. So here's an example. I dated somebody for 3 years. We actually were engaged. And then we became just friends, for the next 4 years. And then he died. And during that time period, there were so many blessings that came into my life. He greatly improved my writing style as he edited work that I did. And he modeled living free from obligation. And he was somebody who was extremely present in most areas. Like when he got cancer, he was just very curious about each next step. He spent very little time in any sadness about it. At the same time, when we broke up, he was almost 30 years older than me. When we broke up, he started dating people who were 50 years younger than him. So he was dating people who were like 20. And, in my concepts, that was not a sign of a lot of psychological health. It wasn't like he was getting people in their 20s who were, very mature for their age. Not really, at least not by conventional standards. And he did have a fantasy life where he would share with me he was just fantasizing that he was going to be regarded and esteemed because of something he had written or whatever. So while in many areas he was this somebody I constantly learned from, he had these other areas that, were just how he passed his time. And with concepts, all of that could make very little sense. But in the moment, he was just exactly right. Exactly right that he broke up with me as I saw all the blessings that happened in my life thereafter. Exactly right that he dated the people he dated, gave me some chance to reflect on my beliefs. And I got to see him work out different things he didn't know he had to work out. So each moment, a relationship is here for exact purpose of being the light in this moment. The light of showing us more deeply what we are. And when it looks like it's causing suffering, showing us how we've attached to something that we're not. And then it would leave our lives. It would be there for exactly the right amount of time. So there's no way to evaluate relationships. There's so many different gifts they're bringing that there's just no way to compare. There's no way to make a hierarchy. The purpose is this energy exchange right now, and right now, and right now. And when you can feel it's done, the purpose is to complete it. Whether it's completing this particular engagement or completing the total trajectory of the friendship, there's no rule. There's only this flow of life. And when we try to force this flow of life into a rule, it doesn't work. So as we negotiate relationships, it will show up all these beliefs we have about how they should go. What's the optimum way for them to go? And none of those are true. There's a moment to moment vitality, and that is all there is. There is no principle about relationship that's always true. There's just the moment to moment vitality. And as we release into that, we get to experience without resistance the richness of this moment to moment vitality. The moment to moment vitality is all there is in any interaction with anybody. And if we're layering on some concepts about how it should be, we add just this constriction in our energy system that prevents us from fully receiving the energy, the vitality of the moment. But the energy and the vitality of the moment are always there. And as we drop our concepts, the resistance opens up, and instead we get to feel that vitality of every moment without our principles and rules.